Hello, hello, welcome back to the Kindred Kitchen. My name is Pam and V is behind the camera.
Hello, hello.
And we are the Kindred Vegans, and today we are continuing with our seven soup series. So we are making an autumn harvest soup, and this, I have made a turnip cabbage soup for a while now, but this has the veggies bumped up. It's got a lot more in the way of flavor, and I think this soup is going to be really awesome. We are going to post all the ingredients down below, so just follow along, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And while you're down sitting there and looking at the ingredients, I want you to hit that subscription button and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you know that every time we are coming out with a new video. All right, now let's get down with the autumn harvest soup and the ingredients. I have here a head of cabbage. I have one acorn squash cut up here, and this is, if you're not familiar with the squashes and everything, this is a starchy vegetable, so this would be some of your starchy here. And then I have one turnip, which was probably a medium-sized turnip, and the turnip is a non-starchy vegetable. I have 3 celery spears and 3 medium carrots here, all chopped up. I have 4 potatoes. Here are my potatoes. I got 4 potatoes just diced up. Another starchy here. I have 5 large curly leaf kale leaves, all nice and chopped up. I have a 1/4 cup of quinoa, and I'll tell you, I added the quinoa because I did not feel like it was quite 50-50. When you look at the non-starchy and the starchy vegetables, the only starchy we had are the potatoes and the squash. So I added a 1/4 cup of quinoa in here. And this, my friends, I wish you could smell. This is like 3/4 cup of chopped fresh basil. This came from my basil plants. So if you still have your basil growing, I know in the northern climates it may be a little bit past, but you can find fresh basil in your grocery store, or you can use dry. But I have about 3/4 cup of chopped fresh basil. You could use a couple tablespoons of dry basil if you don't have it. But oh, it smells so good. I have 1 onion just diced up, and then I have 4 cloves of garlic here, minced. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I also have 2 quarts of my homemade vegetable broth. And I'm going to start out with a 1.5 quarts. I'm not going to put it all in. And then I've got thyme. I'm going to use a tablespoon of thyme, a tablespoon of oregano, and then at the end when it's done, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. Okay, so let's get started, and I am going to make all of this fit in this Ninja here. So we shall see how I do it. I'm just going to add half of this to start, and then I'm going to put stuff around it. Hold on, I lost a piece. All right, let's add the potatoes because they're heavier potatoes. Okay. All right, get down in there. Get down in there. Here's my turnip and my squash. These all take a bit longer to cook. All right, V.
I don't know how to give you space.
I know, but this Ninja only fits so much. We need a bigger Ninja. All right, I do need room in here. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to add my vegetable broth, cook this up a little bit, and the cabbage will wilt down, and then we're gonna add the rest of it. So let me go ahead and pour this gently in here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, and then we will be back to add the rest. All right, so the cooker was full, you know, so we cooked up most of the vegetables, and I moved them over here to this Dutch oven. And now we're gonna cook up the rest of the vegetables, and then we will put it all together. Okay, so we're back to the pressure cooker here. And you can cook this all on the stove if you want to. I mean, yeah, you could cook it all there. It just takes a lot longer because cabbage, turnip, those kind of vegetables take longer to cook. All right.
It smells good already though.
I know, and I haven't even added the seasonings yet. It's gonna be good. Okay, the basil. This is gonna smell so good when it's cooking. Oh, I love basil. It's one of my favorites. All right, onion and garlic going in. Okay. Not staying behind.
No need to.
Yep.
That's what my son says with maple syrup. He licks the bowl and he's like, well,
Can't
you
waste
always
it.
say never miss it, so.
Yeah, can't waste it. I don't blame him. Here's the quinoa. Right there. I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of oregano. And a tablespoon, there it is, a tablespoon of thyme. I'm going to add a little pepper and then I'm going to salt it at the end. So I'm just going to add about a half a teaspoon of pepper and a little bit more of the vegetable broth, although not all of it because I don't want a real, no. I need some for this batch. This makes up a big pot of soup. All right, I'm just going to mix a little bit here, see if I can get the herbs and spices and onions down in a little bit. And this kale, this will be a lot less because the kale really is fluffy, but really does
Wilt quite.
yeah, wilt up when it's cooked up. There, I think I got my herbs down in there. Come on off there. All right, so we are gonna put this batch in to pressure cook. The last one I put just on 2 minutes, and that's what I'm gonna do for this one as well. Seal, on, pressure, on high for 2 minutes. And then we will bring it all together at the end and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, so we pressure cooked up the rest of the vegetables and the herbs and seasonings, and it smells really good. I will say that I am going to add the rest of this vegetable stock, so that'll be 2 quarts of the vegetable broth. And the potatoes, I'm just kind of mushing them with the back of my spoon a little bit, just to give it a little bit of thickness, kind of like a stew. But if you want, you could take a potato masher in there and just mash it up. Isn't it looking really good?
And it smells really
So I'm
good.
going to add, this is a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. I'm going to add that in. And I'm going to add in a teaspoon and a half, I think, of salt, because the last time it needed a little bit more salt. So we're going to just add it. And then I will taste it. And that nutritional yeast will also give it a good flavor. Let me mix it up really good. And then I will add the broth, turn up the heat. Actually, this is like piping hot, so I don't need to. But like I said, if you wanted to cook this on the stove, it would just take longer, that's all. That's the benefit of using a pressure cooker, is it's quicker. And there's that. Do you like my little lids? I got these.
I do.
I got these from Amazon. I'll put the link down below, but they have some that fit the wide mouth and the narrow mouth, but these 2-quart jars have, it's just so much more convenient in my refrigerator than getting out that gallon jug and trying to pour from it. To put them in these. I like the little lids. All right, look at that. I think it actually needs a little bit more salt, which it is a huge Dutch oven full, and I'm going to add, so this will be 2 teaspoons of salt, and add, salt and pepper is your choice, how you like it. You could add more basil, you could add different seasonings if you like, add some rosemary in here would be tasty.
It just smells so good.
Yep. And now I have a bowl right here. I'm just going to put some in a bowl so I can show you what it looks like. You can see all the nice veggies in there. And I think the turnip, which, hey, growing up, my mom would cook turnip for Thanksgiving, which everybody laughs at me, but it would be a bowl of turnip. She would add butter, salt, pepper to it, and as a kid, we had to eat a spoonful of anything that she put on our plate. So we would have turnip, and I hated it. But I add it to spaghetti sauces, I add it to soups and stews, and it just gives a nice underlying flavor there, because turnip is a stronger vegetable, kind of like radishes and rutabagas, which you could add a rutabaga or a parsnip or something like that if you don't have a turnip, but it just gives that great underlying flavor. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you really are enjoying the series of soups, because soups are my favorite, my family's favorite, and it's a great time of year for all of these nice root vegetables that we're getting, these winter squashes and things. So make yourself up a pot of soup and watch the rest of the series. And I want you to go over to kindredvegans.com and sign up for your newsletter, because we put a lot of tips and tricks and recipes in our newsletter. It comes out once a month, and you'll be on the up end whenever we offer any new content or anything, you'll be on that front end of that. So have a good week, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.